Okay, so all I've done so far is I've primed my face with my mineral primer from Youngblood, and I applied my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in 220 mixed with the Gerard Cosmetics BB Illumination Plus. The reason why I mixed it with this, so it just gives a bit more of a golden glow. Then I also filled in my eyebrows. So JLo never really fills in her eyebrows too intense or too dark. I know mine are quite dark compared to my hair. I used my Youngblood brow kit in medium, and what I used was a little bit of the gel in it. I used a little bit of the gel in any areas that I kind of have gaps in my eyebrows that I need the powder to kind of adhere to a bit more, and I used the lightest powder from the palette as well. In any areas that I have gaps, stubborn gaps that just won't be filled with powder, I used a little bit of my Rimmel Rimmel eyebrow pencil in Hazel. And these are so good and so affordable as well. And then to finish it off, I used my Rimmel Brow This Way brow styling gel. So this is so good. It's kind of like Benefit Gimme Brow, but it's way cheaper. Let's get straight into the look. So all the information of all the products that I use is going to be listed down below. So just click the show more button on the information box. So I'm going to use this Youngblood cream blush highlighter in Champagne Life with my MAC 130 brush. And I'm literally just going to apply this where you would usually apply your powder highlighter. So I'm also going to apply a powder highlighter later on, but this just gives an extra glow on the top of the cheekbones, kind of on that brow bone as well. So I'm going to take my foundation brush that I used to apply my foundation and my primer, which is the MAC 137 brush. I'm just going to blend all of that in. So for concealer, what I'm going to use, I'm going to mix two different concealers. So the first one is my MAC Pro Longwear in NC30, and my Collection Lasting Perfection, I think, concealer, and this is in Cool Medium, I'm pretty sure. These are so affordable and they're so good and they've great coverage. So I'm going to do one pump. That's actually way too much. I hate the way the MAC Pro Longwear pumps out so much. I literally just pumped out a bit on the back of my hand there, and I'm going to apply it with my ring finger. So I'm going to go from the corner of the eye down to the side of the nose, all the way underneath the eye, and kind of up then like this. It's going to be like an upside down triangle. So the good thing about the MAC Pro Longwear concealer is it can actually be used as an eyeshadow primer as well. So where I applied it is from the corner of my eye to the corner of my nose and all the way up like an upside down triangle like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other eye, and then the same on this eye, all over the lid. So because I'm using this on my eyelids now, I won't have the need to use an eyeshadow primer, and I actually prefer to use this than an eyeshadow primer. The MAC Pro Longwear concealer just eliminates any discoloration in your eyelids, which a lot of people have, especially us Irish people. And then I like to highlight on my chin, in the corner of my lips, just like this. Now this is all optional, obviously. You don't have to do as much highlighting and concealing as I do, but I like to use my concealer as a highlighter as well. That's why I use a lighter shade. A really good alternative if you don't want to buy the MAC Pro Longwear, another concealer I love is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. It's so good, so affordable. Just let it sit on your skin for a minute or two so it kind of thickens up and you get more coverage from it. So next I'm going to take my Collection concealer. I'm going to put that in the middle of my nose, middle of my eyebrows, and just kind of as if it was to branch out like a tree on my forehead. This is just for more coverage and for that highlight. You can add a little bit of this in here as well. I'm going to grab my foundation brush and just make sure all of that is seamless and blended in. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my highlighted areas. So what I like to use is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. The reason why I use this is because it kind of keeps that lightness and brightness underneath my eyes, where if I was to use my normal powder that I use to set my skin, which would be the medium golden, it's going to darken all those areas that we just highlighted. So to keep them light, I use, it's a little bit dirty my brush, so don't judge me, my Real Techniques setting brush with MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Light, and again I just pat that on. I'm quite heavy handed when I do this just because I like the look of a highlight, and in the picture of JLo, her highlight under her eyes is quite obvious, so just to copy that, and then anywhere where I highlighted I'm going to apply this. If you feel like this is too harsh for you, you don't have to do this, but because I'm going to be applying my face powder after, it will kind of dilute this lightness a little bit on the other areas of my face. So always remember to set the concealer or the primer that you applied onto your eyelid, because eyeshadow is going to blend a lot more smoothly if it's on top of a powder as opposed to if it's on top of a cream product. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium golden. I'm going to apply it with my Youngblood fluffy face brush. This doesn't have a number or anything like that, so I don't know what to tell you guys. So really lightly all over the skin just to set that foundation. So I'm going to use, which is my favourite bronzer, the MAC Mineralized, I love the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Give Me Sun, which looks like these. Very nice. I think it's MAC 168. I'm not sure because it's after rubbing off because I've had it for so long. But I'll list all the information in the info box down below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start contouring and bronzing in the one step. So I like to apply it from, oh, hello hair. I like to apply it from the corner of my ear to the corner of my mouth. But I don't bring it the whole way to my mouth, just so you know. Wherever your eye kind of, if you look forward wherever your eye is, you just want to stop it around there. She definitely has bronzer in around her hairline. What I love to do is apply my bronzer along my jawline and underneath here and underneath here. It just defines your jawline a lot more, and in pictures you don't get a double chin. I'm also going to apply the bronzer onto the cheeks. Okay, let me see. Oh, she's so beautiful. Yeah, okay. I'm going to apply a little bit of a blush now. It's kind of a peachy pinky blush, if any, that she has on. So I'm going to apply my Nars blush in Gina. My crown brush, C40 contour brush, honey. And just apply that really, really lightly on the apples of the cheeks. I'm going to apply my Mary Lou Luminizer by the Balm. So on the top of the cheekbones here and kind of connecting it into the brow bone a little bit. I'm going to apply a little bit down the bridge of my nose. You can use your finger if you want it a bit more intense. And then the same on the other side. So in the picture over her makeup, it's a dark smoky eye. It's not a black smoky eye. If you ever see a true black smoky eye, it's really deep and really intense. This is still dark, but it's a little bit lighter and a little bit softer than a matte black smoky eye. So I'm actually going to use just one quad, and this is from Youngblood. I think it's discontinued for the moment, but they are bringing it back out, so I'm told. So I'm going to opt for this one here. Now you don't have to use this exact colour, you can just use something like it. I'll just swatch it here on my hand so you can kind of see. So that's the colour that I'm using swatched. So if you don't have it, you can grab something similar enough to it. So it's kind of like a purpley, dark grey, light black colour. Oh my god, what am I talking about? Okay, before I do that, I'm going to grab my bronzer. My bronzer that I used, the Give Me Sun Inglot 6 SS brush. And I'm just going to apply that in the crease of my eye. So this acts as like a transition colour. Usually when I'm doing a smoky eye, I bring mine out in more of a feline flick and bring it this way. In the picture, her eye is a little bit more rounded, so I'm not going to extend it out this way anymore. I'm just going to round it off this way. Same on the other eye. And I like to bring it in here as well, in this little section here. And then I'm going to use my Inglot 19P brush with the same colour and just apply that underneath my eye. So her smoky eye is quite dark underneath the eye, and it's not as dark, well it is dark, but not as dark on top of the eye. So that's why I'm applying this underneath my eye, just to help blend it out, and it also has a bit of warmth underneath her eye in the picture as well. Next I'm going to take this colour here. I'm going to take my Inglot 13P brush, which is tiny, but it's so good for packing on colour. So I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. I'm going to concentrate the colour closest to my lash line and build it up from there. And then we're going to do the exact same on the other eye. Okay, so after you've applied that darker shadow to after you've applied the darker shadow to both of your eyes, just take I'm going to take this colour here because it's just convenient, this one here, but you can also use a face bronzer like the Give Me Sun that I used earlier. I'm going to take that on my Inglot 19P brush. So I'm actually going to mix it with a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And what I'm going to do is just blend out the edges, because we don't want any harsh lines, so just blending all that out. So I'm actually going to take this red colour as well with this, with my MAC, what is it, 224? Yeah, 224. I'm going to do the exact same on the other eye. I'm going to grab the darker colour, mix with the bronze colour on my Inglot 19P and blend out the edges. Now I'm not actually blending this up, I'm literally just blending the edges. If you start blending this up, it's going to get a little bit crazy, so just focus on exactly where the edge of the eyeshadow is. And then what I like to do is grab my 224 brush by MAC and grab this red colour with the bronze colour, and that's when I kind of bring that colour up higher because it's a lighter colour, so it's going to be more of a transition as opposed to just that black up the whole way. You can blend the darker colour by itself and just keep blending and blending, but it's a lot easier to blend out the darker colour with lighter colours. So I'm going to grab my Inglot Kohl pencil in 01, which is just this really, really dark black pencil. So I'm going to pop that inside the waterline here. So be very generous with this, and I'm also going to tightline, so just close your lid. And she has it right into the inner corner and up here. I'm actually going to apply a little bit just underneath as well. And then the same on the other side. So what I'm going to do next is take my Inglot 13P brush again and use whatever's left on it from that dark lid colour and just smoke out that eyeliner. So same on this eye. So I'm going to use my Youngblood pencil brush. It has no name and no number, so just a brush that looks like these. I'm going to take a little bit of Embark by MAC as well and apply that on top also. Redbrick by MAC and apply that on top. So I'm going to take the darker colour from my Youngblood Quad, the one that we applied on the lid, and just apply it again on the outer corner of the eye just to add that depth. And a little bit into the crease. In every picture it looks a little bit different, so in some pictures it looks really dark underneath her eye like this, and in others it looks a little bit more browny, so it's kind of hard to judge, but you can just alter it to your preference. So it's really hard to see if she has eyeliner on in the picture, like on her lid. I presume she has a little bit even. I'm going to use the Balm Schwing Black Liquid Eyeliner and only do the tiniest little line of it. I'm not going to do anything too thick. So this is just to make the lashes look a little bit thicker. I'm going to do the exact same on the other eye. I'm going to use my Chanel, what are you? I'm just going to link it. I'm going to use my Chanel mascara, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know. After you've applied your mascara to your top lashes, you can go ahead, if you want, to apply it to your bottom lashes as well. For lips, she has a really nude lip, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Youngblood lip liner in Pout, and it's nearly gone, so I'm going to have to buy a new one. I like to just overdraw the outer corners of my top lip, but this is a perfect nude colour. It just gives your lips definition without being too dark. Then I'm going to apply Japanese Maple lipstick by MAC, which is a really nude lipstick which has more of a gloss finish. I'm just going to go back in with my Youngblood lip liner just on the outer corners of my lips, JLo always overdraws her lips, just kind of subtly. Like, she keeps the shape of her lips, but she just overdraws. So it's kind of like a halo around her lips. And I think that is it. Let me just take down my hair. My God.